Alright, it's been a little while since I've uploaded anything. I want to apologize for that. And before I get started with anything else, I want to assure anybody who's subscribed because of the dramatizations, the readings of the old Golden Age comic books, that's still happening. I know it's been over a month since I've uploaded anything. That's still happening. It may take a little bit of time before I get anything else going because my lease is almost up. Got a lot of stuff going on. This is not my primary source of income. This isn't a source of income at all. I make no money on my YouTube. But anyway, the dramatizations will continue. It may be first of the year after I'm able to move and get settled in. I may try to get something up sooner than that. I may try to get a couple up in December because I do enjoy doing them. Just really kind of in a high stress period right now. I don't have a lot of time to work on them. But I will continue. And if you enjoy my scripted documentary type stuff, I'll get back to that soon too. I just want to find a new format. It was getting harder to do Golden Age influences the way I was doing them because I had to tie them into whatever movie was upcoming, and not every movie suggested something to me, and some months, there's no movie. I'm going to figure out a way to get some more documentary type stuff up too. In the meantime, just to keep the channel active, and because it's something I've wanted to do for a while, I am going to have an unscripted vlog, and let me set the scene a little bit for you. I've been collecting comics for a very, very, very long time. To date myself, I started collecting comics in 1978. A school friend of mine, Chuck, was into comics, and I kind of copycatted him, although I think I eventually became much more into comics than Chuck. I think Chuck still enjoys comics. I don't talk to him much anymore, but, regardless, I got in deep. Like with many of my hobbies, I enjoy the history side of it as much as the content. So I don't just enjoy reading comics. I don't just enjoy collecting comics. I enjoy learning about comics, learning about the comic history, obviously from this channel. But in terms of things, as I was growing up, I kind of flip-flopped. I was almost entirely Marvel Comics in my younger days. Around 1986, when Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, I started to get into DC. I was buying them roughly half and half. For a long time, I did kind of drift more towards DC for a while, more towards Marvel for a while. Obviously, 2010, I started writing for the Marvel handbooks, and I've been doing that for the better part of a decade. And, as money gets tighter, and I'm actually getting paid to study Marvel history to an extent. I did start, buying more Marvel than DC again because obviously Marvel's giving me money every once in a while to know about stuff from their comics. So, all that is great. But you may have noticed that in all this time, I kind of bring up Archie Comics as a source of reference, and sometimes I do it half jokingly, but I do really, really love the Archie Comics cast. I've always had a fondness for some of these characters and the goofiness of some of the, early stories, and since they did the reboot in 2015, I mean, Archie, even before that, Life with Archie magazine, Archie's been doing some really good comics, and I've always had a very high reverence for Archie Comics, but my actual Archie collection is relatively small. I do have a few more than this in a storage building, but I went to the storage building last week to get them out, and I am not ready to look in that storage building right now. I will get them out eventually. They will be added to this, but in the meantime, I'm starting an Archie collection, and I am starting a quest to be the #1 Archie collector in the world. Don't at me. Anyway, I'm going to keep an active vlog. Mostly unscripted. I may do a few scripted intros because there's some things from Archie history I want to discuss as I'm talking about different things. But every time I add to the collection, there will be a vlog in between. As often as I can, I'm going to look at individual things that are already in my collection and discuss the significance of them, and what they contribute to overall Archie history, to overall comic history, to overall just my enjoyment. But let's see what I've got right now. I've got Jughead's Time Police. This is the collection of the 1990 series. It's got a few earlier Jughead time travel stories. They're all connected to a character, January McAndrews, who is Archie's descendant from the 29th century that Jughead's in love with. It's good comic there. This I'm going to talk about in detail later, probably as early as tomorrow, so keep an eye on that. Digests, a couple of digests. We'll look at this as well. It's Archie Jumbo Comics 75th Anniversary number 8. Archie Milestones number 5. Those are important. Couple more digests. Betty and Veronica 276 and World of Archie 92. We're going to have a long talk about Archie digests at some point. Of course, the Archie versus Predator trade paperback. This is a great story. I'll be talking about this in detail pretty soon as well. The Sabrina Super Special recently came out. It's got a lot of Sabrina stories from different time periods collected. Let's see, some vintage issues. This is Archie number 165, Archie number 177, Archie number 185, Archie number 194. These aren't in frame, but I'll get around to them later. Archie's Joke Book number 107. Most of these I bought in the same collection. There's a lot of... Hello, focus! Thank you. Archie and Me number 36. Betty and Veronica 155. Got Betty and Veronica 176. Laugh 197. Life with Archie 89, and Archie Giant Series Magazine number 241. The numbering on Archie Giant Series Magazine is weird, and I'm probably going to talk about that at some point too. Most of that I got from the same collection at Time Travel Comics in Hickory, North Carolina. Check that out if you live anywhere near Hickory, because that's a great comic store. That collection, however, somebody who previously owned it took some scissors to it at very odd places. I will actually probably do a video on one of these comics just to point that out, because it's kind of hilarious. Hold on, I should have sorted this better before I started. Archie's Time Police, the recent, just ended 2019 series. I've got all 5 issues. I've got only one cover of each, except I've got 2 covers of issue 2. Let's hold those up. 2 covers of issue 2. Only one cover each. I'm debating whether or not in my quest to buy all the Archie books, if I'm going to buy all the variant covers, which would be no question if like number 1s had variant covers or anniversary issues had variant covers, but everything Archie puts out right now has multiple covers, anywhere from 3 to 6 covers, and I'm not sure. Anyway, I've got the first 3 issues of the Married Year 10th anniversary. It's fun. It's not as good as Jughead's Time Police, but it's fun. I only have the first issue of Red Sonja and Vampirella Meet Betty and Veronica. Comic stores around here don't really get a whole lot of the Archie titles, and by the time I get there, a lot of stuff's sold out, or they didn't order it at all. Who knows? I don't know. saving a couple things for last. I've got the first collection of the reboot 2015 Archie series by Mark Waid and Fiona Staples, and a couple other artists that came after Fiona Staples because she only stayed for a few issues. But it's very good, very good. If you don't take Archie seriously but you haven't read the reboots, buy this. This is excellent. And the Shield collection of the, what I want to say, 2015, 2017 reboot of the Shield, Archie's premier superhero character, but this new version is a woman, and it's very good story. Adam Christopher, Chuck Wendig, Drew Johnson. Check that out. It's very good. I will look at that probably in detail at some point. Seymour, My Son. One of only 2 appearances of Seymour, a mid-60s Archie character who didn't catch on, but this is a really good comic. I'm going to look at this. I may read this whole thing out loud because this is a really good comic. Don't know why that didn't catch on. Archie 133, first appearance of my second favorite character, Cricket Odell. She's Josie, number 12, the best appearance of my second favorite character, Cricket Odell. Also includes my first favorite character, Pepper Smith. Bring back Pepper. Also bring back Sock. I'm pointing at Albert. Sock. Bring back Sock. It's a character that needs to come back. And 2 more things. This random issue of Leave It to Binky, number 62. I am not going to... I'm not going to try to collect every issue of every Archie knockoff, but I do kind of want to get a few representative issues of significant Archie knockoffs. Binky sucks. Sorry, DC. Binky sucks. At least this issue sucks. But he's a very significant Archie knockoff, Archie type character, and I wanted to have at least one Binky in my collection. And my oldest comic, or at least the oldest, well, I've got 2 Captain Marvels from the late mid-40s, but my oldest comic that I'm considering part of this collection, All Love Romances. I think this is issue 22. It's not on the cover. I'll talk about this in detail as to why I'm considering this part of my Archie collection. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that because it's kind of important. It features the character Ernie, who was previously called Andy. If you check my channel out, you'll see I've done a handful of Andy stories in my comic dramatizations. Andy is my favorite Archie knockoff character. Second favorite, I may actually like Maisie a little bit more, but Andy is pretty freaking great. And they changed his name to Ernie for no particular reason, but I'll discuss that at some point because I want to talk about Andy in detail. It's an interesting series. This was actually previously called Andy Comics, and it was called Ernie Comics, and then it became All Love Romances because Ace Comics decided they wanted to be a romance publisher pretty much exclusively by the early 50s. Anyway, that's my collection so far, not counting the stuff in storage, but I'll get to that. I am going to update as I add, and I'm going to try to have everything. All right. Anyway, I may try to get another video up as early as tomorrow, but I do want to discuss especially that Best of Archie comic in detail and some of these other comics in detail. And I've got some stuff in the mail that should be coming, and I'll do a video when I get those, when I get to the comic store, which I should go today because it's my day off, but I'm lazy. Anyway, when I go to the comic store, anytime I add to the collection, another vlog. Anytime I want to discuss something from the collection, another vlog. Once I move and I get some merchandise, It's just going to be a freaking Archie background behind me. But anyway, that's the Archie collection so far. And we'll be moving forward with this as time goes on. We'll get back to some other scripted, more polished videos. Hopefully a couple before the end of the year, but definitely be back to those in earnest in January. And take care, everybody.